2 wins in the last 9 matches to start the season. Monza's first ever Serie A victory. We're on projected for our least amount of points since 2011 with 54. Something's got to change. So I'm not changing this shirt on the channel until this guy's out. I'm Julian Gennady, and welcome back to the Bianconerizone live show. It's the post-match reaction to whatever the hell we just watched. Monza, Juventus, early kickoff, 1-0 defeat to the newly promoted side. And I'm really pissed off I woke up for that. I'm sure a bunch of you who are not accustomed to the 3 o'clock kickoff hour. That's horrendous. We'll get into it. Obviously, Allegri didn't do a press or post match today because he was not the coach and Landucci had to talk. But I'm at the point now where I don't expect anything. Now. Whether it's losing to Monza, losing to Cremonese at home. I don't know. I have no expectations for this team anymore. I'm writing the season's done. The season's done. 10 points, 7 games for 7 games of the season. Like I said, we're on pace for 54 points. That's probably mid-table at this point. Can it get any worse? We're out of the Champions League. That's a guarantee. We're out of the Champions League. The season's over. And it's been a month. Even when Pogba and Chiesa come back, if that dude is still coaching the team, it's over. It's crazy how the season was over before it started, it seemed like, because yeah, the Sassuolo game was nice and dandy and everything. We won 3-0. That papered over cracks, as Alejandro likes to say. We didn't play well. That game. We could have conceded goals that game. We're crap. We are literally worse than Monza. We are. You saw it today. Monza conceded a goal in every single one of the games they played this year. They played Lecce. They conceded a goal in every single one of their games. But we couldn't score on the mighty Monza. Vlahovic, Kostic, and Di Maria could not score against Monza. But Lecce scored against Monza. Every other team Monza played, they got scored on. Why couldn't we? We didn't even have a shot on goal until Di Maria got a red card. Which, by the way, he's an idiot. But I have no sympathy for Di Maria there. If people are going to say, oh, he's frustrated, blah, 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 screw off. You're 34 years old. Don't do that. Don't do that. That's not the reason why we lost, though. We just suck. There's no other... I'm not going to go into tactics. I'm not going to go into what Monza did well. Like, we suck. We're a shit team. Justin, myself, and Alejandro did a Serie A prediction show, and Justin said 5th, and I said 3rd. And I think Justin's crazy because we're going to be worse still. We're going to be worse than 5th. Now, I don't know. Like, nothing's happening. Nothing's happening today. The coach isn't getting fired today. The players are going to go on their international breaks. They're going to do well for their national teams. They are. Every single player who got called up for the national team, they're going to do well for their teams because they're good players. We would, or sorry, they would do well. Like Di Maria, Paredes are gonna go play for Argentina. They're gonna do well. Danilo's gonna do well with Brazil. Bremer, I don't think he's gonna play, but who else got called up? Miretti's gonna do well for the U21s. Vlahovic is probably gonna score a couple goals for Serbia. Kostic gonna cross him some balls for Serbia, and they're all gonna do well. It's a staple. But for this team, under this management, are shit. I think that's telling. McKennie, yeah, for the USA, he'll probably score a goal. I haven't seen anything. I'm 29 years old. Like the video if you haven't already, by the way. My dog's even crying because he's so sad. I'm 29 years old and I watched Juve get relegated. Obviously, I had a different kind of mindset when I was younger. I was about 13 or so, and I saw the 2010, 2011 seasons. I was a little bit older. This is worse because the players back on those teams, obviously the Serie B team is a Serie B team, but the players on the 2011, 2010 teams, they were shit. And we knew that. Like, we knew nothing was going to get better until we got proper management in. On paper, I'm not kidding. I'm not taking that back. I'm not taking that back. On paper, we should win this league. But the game's not played on paper. And that's the reality of the situation. A coach makes players have chemistry, play well, look what they know what they're doing on the field. A proper coach who has ideas and does modern things in the modern game can work with Paredes, McKennie, and Miretti in midfield. A proper coach will not get outplayed by Sensi, Pessina, and Rovella. A proper coach will get Kostic, Vlahovic, and Di Maria to score a couple goals against Monza. And again, we're not just I'm not like this is the Monza post match, but like this is a greater evil post match show. Kostic, Europa League player of the season. Vlahovic, 20 plus goal scorer in Serie A on the bounce, and Angel Di Maria, literally Messi's go-to guy in the Argentina national team. Could not score against Monza, who have not kept a clean sheet this season until today. Do not tell me that's not about coaching. Do not tell me that's not about coaching. That is 100% about coaching. Are the players underperforming right now? Yes, because of coaching. But we're shit right now. We're shit right now. There's no other reason to that besides what the hell do we do at practice? What do we do at training sessions? What do the medical and athletic team do when Rabiot, Locatelli, Pogba all have these injuries? Di Maria for a bit. And it's going to continue. Like, this 2-week break is not going to solve anything. This 2-week break is not going to solve anything. My God. Well, like, usually when before I joined this YouTube channel and Juventus were playing like shit, I could just take 2 weeks off and not even think about it, and it was great. But now since I help out with this YouTube channel, I got to talk about Juventus every day. And I don't want to like realistically, if I had the choice, I would not come back onto this channel until Allegri was fired. But I'm not going to do that because obviously This is an absolute joke. Our last 4 games, you lost to PSG, fine. You drew to Salernitana, you should have won the game. Still play like crap, okay. The Benfica game, horrible. Like, this is all. My mic's cutting. Sorry. Give me a sec. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Hello? Check 1, 2. Let me know. My mic is acting like Juventus right now. Just pure shit. Okay, so it's better now. Great. I lost my train of thought though. There's so many things running through my head right now. We, as a club, do not know what to do in the attacking third, what to do in the neutral third, what to do in the defensive third when we have the ball. We have not been consistent enough to have... No, we have not been consistent enough anywhere. If there are, like, we have to almost at this point start a boycott. Get all the Juventus channels, YouTube channels, English speaking, Italian speaking, Arab speaking, and we gotta like just say enough is enough. We got it on the same page here because, like, I woke up and my eyes were bleeding watching that game today. Oh, like, for me, it was an early game, early kickoff, 9 a.m. for me. Woke up at 8:50 on a Sunday. Usually don't do that. I woke up today, I was thinking, okay, I kind of know what's going to happen, but I didn't think it was going to be that bad. And whoever lives around that area of Italy, in Torino, please help out the fan base. Go there and peacefully protest something. Because this is absolutely ridiculous. I said that. Am I frozen? Am I good? Okay. That team in 2011 with Aquilani, Diego, Amauri, Felipe Melo, you knew what to expect. Coaching was shit, players were shit, whatever. Milos Krasic. With this team, again, I'm saying, you got Dusan Vlahovic, a proven 20-plus goal scorer, on the rise. You spent 70 mil for him. Over 100 mil, including wages and agent fees. You brought in players with quality, international pedigree, and the ability to beat the teams that we are playing against. But we're going to finish probably... At this point in time, there's no reason why we should finish higher than 7th. If this guy's going to continue to coach. With the dinosaur coaching, nothing's changing. And that's the reality of the situation. I'm going to bring up a couple of stats now because it's a post game. To make matters worse, the expected goals for today... I know people don't like the stats, expected goals. The expected goals today, Monza 2.47, Juventus 0.92. Thoroughly outchanced. Shots were 17-10. Ball possession 60-40. I don't give a rat's ass if Di Maria got a red card at the 40th minute. Because the game trend, Juventus actually had more chances after he gets sent off, by the way. But Juventus shouldn't have to rely on being a man down to beat Monza. They should beat Monza being a man down. I'm sorry. There's more stats that I got here. And I'm not going to do any free ads today because I'm not in the mood. Somebody wanted a comparison of how Ravella did. Okay. Nicolo Ravella, Juventus player, sent out on loan. When McKennie still plays on the team. Fagioli still plays on the team. 90 minutes played, 87 accurate passes. 92% passing. Okay. Defense, 7 recoveries, 4 interceptions. Dispossessed 0 times. Okay. Cool. Let's go to McKennie. McKennie passed the ball 20 times. 77% accuracy. Okay. 3 recoveries, 1 interception, 4 times dispossessed. I think I counted in the first half, 4 times McKennie got the ball, or tried to play first time to DeCilio, passed it behind him. This is, again, I've seen bad. I've seen Juventus bad. I've seen it. You've seen it if you're old enough to remember 2011. Our Serie B team wasn't even this bad. It still had Chiellini, Camoranesi, Nedved, Del Piero, Trezeguet still playing well. I don't. People in the comments, what do you guys think? Like the video if you haven't already. Be realistic. If Max Allegri stayed until the end of the season, be realistic. Don't be so biased at this moment in time. Where do you think we finish? Give me the European status as well. Do we make it to Europa League? Whatever. If we're still in the Champions, what do you guys think is going to happen? What position do we finish in Serie A? Be realistic when you say this. Don't say 18th because we're not going to finish 18th, even though we might. No, I'm kidding. We won't finish 18th. But if we continue on this pace, not this pace, if we continue with Allegri, where are we going to finish? I see people saying 6th. I think the 6th to 8th range is correct. The 6 to 8 range is correct, in my opinion. Because we are going to luck ourselves into wins when Chiesa and Pogba do return. We are going to luck ourselves into some victories. But with the squad at our disposal, even with the starting 11 we had today, you do not lose to Monza. Do not blame Landucci because that guy is a puppet. I see a lot of people saying a lot of teams look better than us. Yeah, absolutely. We have 2 wins in 9 games. We're not making Champions League. We're not getting out of the Champions League group. Max Allegri is going to come back and say, "Hey," or when the international break's done, we have to focus all of our energy on Benfica, and then they're going to lose to Benfica. Oh, by the way, Udinese, first in Serie A. Who do they got? Who are they missing? Why are they first? Why are they beating Inter so easily? Not easily, but there's been absolutely no progress since last. When was he hired? I think May 2021. May 2021 he was hired. Our best stretch of games came last December when we played 4 shit teams in a row and we won 1-0 every game. That was our best stretch of results, I'll say. Udinese are first without any good players. Our best stretch of games came last December. 1-0. 1-0. 1-0. Playing shit football but getting some results. Continued on into the new year. Again, and another thing is, people will blame players. No. Do not blame players right now. Because last year we brought in, since Allegri came in, we brought in 9 new players for him. He's already sent one out on loan. But he's got 9 new players from whatever Pirlo had. Yeah, Robert 1 saying Allegri out. I got my shirt on, custom made. Made it today. But yeah, when your players are playing like this and there's new players playing like this with that lethargy, it's time for the coach to go. I've seen this. I've seen this happen in many sports. I've seen it in my hockey team. I've seen it on my football team countless times in the past 5 years. When your players do not respond to you or do not give you the effort, the bare minimum is effort. But when they stop giving you effort and the locker room is lost, you got to go. Pay the money. I will never criticize Juventus for not spending 157 million euros on Mbappe. I'll never, because we don't have that kind of money to spend on Mbappe. But I will criticize the management for not having the balls to sack Allegri here, because if you think about it, you're doing yourselves a favor. In the long term, you'll get more money by firing Allegri now. If you bring in a new coach, think of it as you're paying the coach whatever the salary is now that you're going to give him plus 9 million. Just get Allegri out. For example, I'm not saying do this, but I like the Sporting Lisbon coach, Ruben Amorim, and I'm not saying this is going to happen. If you try and get Ruben Amorim into this team, again, this is hypothetical. If you get Ruben Amorim in this team, let's say for 3 million a year, think of it as you're paying Ruben Amorim 12 million euros at this point, because you're getting Allegri out and you are paying the new coach 9 plus whatever he's going to make. I don't see why that's an issue, because one, you'll get your player investments to play better. You will get your player investments to play better if you get a new coach in. That's just a fact. There is no way Dusan Vlahovic can get any worse than he is right now. There's no way. If Allegri leaves, there's no way Bremer can get any worse than he has been the past couple of games. There's no way, who else? Di Maria can get any worse. There's no way Kostic can get any worse. If a better coach comes in, those players will all elevate, and you get return on your investment for bringing new players in. It's not the most simple answer, because you still have to identify that coach that wants to come in. But at the same time, it's needed now. I don't want to see us 40-60 possession to Monza. Just keep the ball. Can you do it with McKennie? Okay, great. You can't? Bench. Peace. If you get a coach that wants possession and wants to dictate terms of play, Fagioli starts instead of McKennie, because that's the type of player profile that we need if that coach is coming in. There's nothing good about the team right now. There's nothing positive. Could you say Moretti's a positive? Okay, maybe. But like again, he's 19. He's not going to save the team, or else we wouldn't be in this situation. But he's fine. There is no positives about this right now. Bite the bullet, fire the coach, get another guy in, and just see it as you got 9 plus whatever the new coach is making. That's all I'm saying. Because again, the return on the investment on the new players coming in that have come in, that have been replaced, new players since Allegri took over. 9 new ones. I'll say this again. They can't get any worse than what they are now. So the new coach coming in is already getting a return on the investment. I see some of these players, or some of these comments saying that the players need to die for the shirt and stuff. I get it, but it comes to a point where like I've seen this before, like I said, in different sports, and including this one. Once as a coach, you lose the locker room, and not everybody's giving 100%. You're toast as a coach. Any competent coach who has a modern philosophy on the game can do better. This is not a hot take, but Pirlo would do better than what Allegri's doing right now. That's not a hot take. I think it's true. I think Pirlo would do a better job than what Conte or Allegri's doing right now. It's just a shame that it's come to this. It's not revisionist history also. And I'm not saying bring back Pirlo, like what Blue Alien say. I'm not saying bring him back, because it is what it is. But 100% he would do a better job, because he actually, if you guys watch the All or Nothing, I'm pretty sure most of us did. Most of you guys watched the All or Nothing. And I'm gonna go out here and say people rip on Nedved, but Nedved is the only one who thinks about modern day football. Agnelli thinks about modern day commercialism. So Ali and I did a podcast about internal divide, Agnelli versus Nedved. He did that. We did that Friday night. It came out Saturday. Go check it out. Agnelli is about modern commercialism. Nedved's about modern day football. You think, ideally, hey, that's a good match. That's a great match. You think about the stuff outside of football. Nedved, you think about the stuff inside on the field. Perfect. Doesn't work like that here. Nedved, on the All or Nothing, said, I love Pirlo's brain because he went to the Camp Nou and decided to attack Barcelona. He decided to go at them and bring on all the offensive players we had at our disposal and just attack Barcelona. And then you fired him because he finished fourth with a team that solely played to appease Ronaldo. Cool. Okay. Why'd you bring back Allegri? Because Agnelli has the last say. Agnelli wanted Allegri back. Agnelli wanted a guy who, in the past, did well for him. Past. Cool. It's not working out. Agnelli needs to stay up there, do your Coca-Cola halftime show, do all that shit, allow the fans back with flares, with banners again. That's commercialism. That's allowing a good atmosphere in the stadium. Let Nedved do other stuff. Let Nedved identify... the Ballon d'Or winning Nedved, let him identify what is supposed to be on the field. Apparently he wanted Conte back. Smart guy. Conte's great. as a coach. Nedved liked Pirlo because he was inventive and had balls. Great. Nedved doesn't like Allegri as a coach. Wow. Imagine that. 2 wins in 9 games. I see a great question. What's the point of Nedved if Agnelli doesn't listen to him? Bingo. What's the point? What's the point? And again, with Arrivabene and Cherubini as well, what's the point of them even saying anything? If Agnelli's just gonna say, nah, Allegri. Nah, we can't buy him out. Nah, Max has good horses. I like his horses. I'm gonna bet on them. I'm sorry, but again, when you have a guy that's done what Nedved's done in the footballing world, you listen to him. People say, what is his role in the club? It doesn't look like he has much of a role, because if he suggests something, it gets shut down. But every decision Agnelli's made in the past couple of years has been fatally incorrect. Fatally incorrect. Take away the banners and the flares because you want kids to go to the game because they'll make so much noise. No. Oh, I want a Coca-Cola halftime show when we're playing defensive pragmatic football against Salernitana. No. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is going on here? What is going on here? Bite the bullet, fire the coach, get a new guy in, and stuff will change. This shows a lack of ambition. This shows a lack of thought process in terms of, the 3 or 4 year plan. There's no 3 or 4 year plan here. The 3 or 4 year plan was, last year was about Italians and young players coming in, and this year it's about bringing in everybody 27 plus. So it flip-flopped. You brought in someone in January, you sent them out on loan in August. Like, I don't get it. And I wonder when enough is enough for Mr. Elkin. I don't know when enough is enough for him. I don't know when he's gonna say, hey, listen, cousin, cugine. They're whatever the Italian version of Thanksgiving is. They're having Thanksgiving dinner. Elkin goes to Agnelli. I made this joke last year too. Agnelli and Elkin having Thanksgiving dinner, whenever that is in Italy. I don't even think there is one. Whatever their holidays are. And they say, yeah, you can't run this team anymore. They'll fight. Because this is what it's like, a family drama here. And I get financial fair play comes into all of this. But firing a coach has nothing to do with financial fair play. Are the shareholders of Exor going to be pissed off if Elkin took out another 30 million to fire a coach? Maybe. Just do it. Replace your cousin that's incompetent to run a football club. Nowadays. Or tell him this is your last straw. Do not make any footballing decisions. Keep doing your Coca-Cola halftime shows. Keep pushing the Super League. Do the stuff you're good at. Do not hire a coach. You're not good at that. Do not fire someone because they won 2 trophies with a struggling team. Don't do that. Who never had a preseason. Whose best signing, you listen to Pirlo say, hey, I want Chiesa. And you listen to him. Okay, so Jerry Girardi saying they have something called Immaculate Mary's Day on December 8th. December 8th, Elkin and Agnelli, Mary's Day instead of Thanksgiving. It has to be an ultimatum at this point. Because, again, 2 wins in 9 matches. You drew shit Sampdoria. You drew shit Fiorentina. You drew shit Salernitana. You drew a really bad Roma team. And you lost to Monza. And then you embarrassed yourselves in the Champions League. And it's been a month. It's been a month. This is a top to bottom issue now. Because again, the best run clubs in the world, their owners don't speak. Their sporting directors they have their inputs and they do what they need to do. They have proper managing structures involved in their clubs. And they win. That's the complete opposite of what happens here since Allegri arrived. Okay, since it's more relevant since Allegri arrived. Can we identify one player that's improved since last May? People like the video. Please. There's 130 people in here, only 52 likes. If you guys have social media or anything, and I know this is not going to do much, but if you guys got social media, go under the Twitter accounts and say just change something. Go on the Juventus Twitter account and say that. Don't swear. Don't be rude about it. Just plead, because this is not good. This is not good. Vlahovic has turned into Amari. How do you make a potential 30 goal scorer in the league turn into Amari? There's a great comment in there saying, we've been in decline since the end of Allegri's last stint. Correct. His return napalmed everything. Yes, his return has made everything a lot worse, a lot quicker. What coaches are available right now? So there's 2 or 3 free agents that are heavy hitters. Obviously, like Zidane is never going to come, but he's a free agent. Tuchel is a free agent. Pochettino's a free agent. Those are the heavy hitters with big pedigrees. I think it's time to disregard that kind of coach. I think it's time to identify an up-and-coming coach. Not a take a chance on Pirlo type of coach, which I'm not saying is bad, but don't do that again. Don't hire a coach who just got his license. Don't do that. I think it's time to hire an up-and-coming coach that has coached at least at a European level. Obviously, I'm not the one to identify that. I have a couple names, but that's not my job. Carabini, your job. A coach with European experience who's an up-and-coming coach that is going to coach this mess into a good team. Not buy your way out of it. Coach the team out of this. Leicester saying, let's hear them. Well, again, I said Ruben Amorim. I said that. I've said that since a couple weeks ago now. There's Igor Tudor. If you want to go the Italian route, you could go for Atalanta's Gasperini, except at this time, are you going to get Gasperini because he coaches one single way only, and if it doesn't work, you're fucked? There's a couple coaches that are on their way with good ideas, good modern way of playing the game. There are some coaches out there with European experience who won't command 9 million euros, who won't command even 5 million euros. With the players at the disposal of this team, they should be contending for the title, no questions asked. No questions asked. I see De Zerbi, but I think De Zerbi's going to Brighton. So that's why I never mentioned his name yet. Is he even good enough? I don't know. But at the end of the day, something needs to change, because the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. Keeping Allegri here and thinking something's going to change is insanity. It's been 61 games now. I think I made a tweet after the Benfica game. We won 30 games out of 60. We've now won 30 games out of 61 since he's come back. We've won 3 games out of 19 against decent composition. I said composition. Opposition. Sorry. We're in a really, really, really bad state. And again, just something needs to change. I don't know who to identify. Actually, I do, because I've said a bunch of names already. Who wants to, like, realistically, after the international break is over, who's already thinking about the next game against Bologna? Who on Sunday, October 2nd at 2:45 p.m. my time is thinking, yeah, block my schedule off, I need to watch Bologna and Juventus? And Allegri still the coach. Who's doing that? Who's excited for the Champions League game against Maccabi Haifa on Wednesday, October 5th? And then Saturday, October 8th, Canada Day or Canadian Thanksgiving weekend, big game, Milan Juventus, 12 p.m. Saturday. Who's excited for that? Or who's just dreading it? Are you guys dreading it at this point? I'm dreading it. We're going to go play Milan without Di Maria because he's suspended because he's an idiot. Chiesa won't be back. Pogba won't be back. Will Rabiot and Locatelli be back? I don't think it matters. Our next run of games are, once we return and we start playing on October 2nd to October 15th, so in that 2-week period, we play Bologna, Maccabi Haifa, Milan, Maccabi Haifa, and Torino. Out of those 5 games, how many are we winning? Out of how many? Out of those 5 games. Normally, I'd say at least 4. Normally, I'd say, yeah, we can win 4 of those games. Easy. But out of those next 5 games, and again, these opponents are crap except for Milan. Like Torino's crap, Maccabi Haifa, Bologna. Crap. How many are we winning? Again, with the thought of, yeah, Locatelli's back, Rabiot's back, maybe Alexandro, I don't know. Szczesny will be back. Not that Perrine was a problem. People are telling me Bologna are good, bro. Okay, great. They're mid-table. Like, maybe they're good, too good for us, but they're not a good team. They're still not good. Udinese is good as a lower-end team. They are good. And Torino is crap. If you big picture, Torino's not good. But to us, they're good because we suck. Again, big picture, Torino are not good in the grand scheme of things. If they played a top team, if they play top teams in Italy, they're not going to win many. If they play top teams in other leagues, they're not going to win. If they play Juventus, they'll probably win because we suck right now. Ideally, if everything was happening the way it should be, with a good coach and this team on paper, we wouldn't be worried about Torino. We wouldn't be worried about Bologna if we had a good coach and the players at our disposal were playing to their potential. We wouldn't be worried about that. In fact, if we had a good coach and our players were playing to the best of their abilities, I'd say, yeah, we can beat Milan. But looking at October 8th, I'm going to be happy if we don't concede 3 to Milan at this point. At the end of the day, I'm just a dude talking to a microphone on this, and I'm not going to change anything because no one cares what I have to say. At the end of the day, it's going to be a financial decision, which Agnelli, Elkin, Carabini, Arrivabene, they got to sort out themselves. If they think 27 million euros or whatever is too much to eat at this point, then that's on them. They don't see the big picture. Especially for a guy that likes to see the big picture in terms of commercialism. Saying, oh yeah, we have to reach the American audience. We have to do this, that, and the other thing. Football's changing. People watch on their phones. And I'm talking about Agnelli talking here at one of his summits. Oh, they will only watch 15 minutes of the game now or highlights or whatever he's talking about. How about you focus on your team? You focus on your team's issues. And you do something about what's the issue, which right now it's Allegri. And the athletic team, because there's too many injuries. That, Khalid, you couldn't have made a better point. He says, Dear Agnelli, improve your product, then advertise it. Yes. Who's going to take Agnelli seriously when his team's losing to Monza and they have 2 wins on the season out of 9? Who? I don't know. This is horrendous. Like I can, is there a point of me reading out the Is there a point of me reading out the what's it called? The interviews from the coaches after the post game? I don't care about Di Maria's apology on Instagram. I don't care. He's an idiot. You're 34 years old, buddy. I actually don't care. Wednesday, after Benfica, you walked off the field. You didn't even say sorry to the fans at the game. So now you're going on Instagram saying sorry about the red card or something. Grow up. Shut up. One big thing I did take away from the post-match was Landucci saying we have to shut up and just quit talking and show up and do your job. They said this Wednesday. They said this last Sunday. When are they actually going to shut up? And when are they actually going to start trying? When a new coach is hired, obviously. Like, again, when you lose the dressing room as a coach, you're done. There's no way you get it back. I'm sorry. Unless you just expect mediocrity for the rest, or worse than mediocrity, for the rest of your time as a coach at that club, on that contract. Again, example, my favorite hockey team, Detroit Red Wings. They had a guy named Jeff Blashill trying to coach their rebuild. And he was the coach for five or 6 years. He lost the dressing room after the second year. But in North American sports, when you do shit, you get a good draft pick. You don't get relegated. You don't lose out on money. You get a good draft pick for losing. So that's why that coach stayed for so long. And now he's fired because they're starting to uptrend. They're starting to get better players in, and they're starting to go up and rise. With Juventus, Max Allegri is like Jeff Blashill. You got to get him out. The locker room's gone. If you want to go back on the uprise, you need a different voice. Look at Devil in the Belfry. Red Wing fan. I love that. Stevie Y is home. So good to be, or so well, be good again soon. Yep. There you go. I like how there's a lot of Canadians in here talking about hockey. It's a very even Justin, if you guys can't relate to hockey, even like Justin's Louisville team for football. Same idea. Shit team, can't move forward unless you fire the coach. I was gonna read some of the post match, but I'm not, because there's no point. It's the same bullshit over and over again. What's the point? There's no one else, or there's nothing else to read. Like it's copy and paste. It's just a different talker from Sunday. There's no point. So we go into this break now, international break. We're gonna see all of our players that made the national team. They're gonna do well. They're gonna score goals. They're gonna get clean sheets. And then in 2 weeks' time, we're going to be back against Bologna, and what's going to happen? That's different. Nothing. But during those 2 weeks, this channel in particular has some fun stuff planned to get our attention away from the first team garbage that's happening. Okay, Thomas... Like, crazy comment. Like, you're right, but there's no need to compare Matthews and Larkin. I know Matthews is a lot better. Get out. He's making a hockey comment. But on this channel, we have an exclusive interview with a pretty well-known scout on Twitter that's going to identify our youth team and how it sets up for the future. And that'll be Friday. We're going to be doing some quizzes about Juventus. So that's history. So that's fun. That's not current times. And then I think I'm going to try and get another guest lined up that will bring us a little bit back to reality. and they will talk about, if they accept, they will talk about our current advanced metrics to make the situation we're in currently worse. So that's what we have on top on this channel. Plus, obviously, all of our lives after darks on Thursdays are coming back. So come watch those on Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Justin and I after darks again. Those are fun. If you joined us on this past Thursday, we got into like debates about a lot of things. Not just about Juventus, not just about football, but about other life things. It takes your mind off some things. I think this Thursday will be a nice refresh or nice reset because Juventus won't be on. We can just talk about anything, decompress, and that'll be a good one. But yeah, normal things are gonna happen on the channel though for the next 2 weeks during the during the international break. We will do some player focuses during the international break to see if there is a difference. Like if Vlahovic scores a couple goals for Serbia, let's dive into it. Even though the main focus is going to be coaching. Again, for Brazil, we're going to watch Danilo, Bremer, all those guys. So stay tuned for that. And then again, this upcoming Friday, we do have a special interview that we're going to talk about Moretti, Juventus Next Gen, all that stuff. But going back to today, at the end of the day, we just need a new coach. We just need a new coach. And that's the main thing. You all have identified many coaches, available, not available, coaching currently, other teams who would actually want to come. I think the best name out of the whole list, I don't think it's Zidane, by the way. I don't think that Zidane is the answer to this coaching crisis. A lot of people are saying Zidane. I don't think it's Zidane. I think it is you either suck up to Conte and try and get him back, even unlikely as that seems. You do that. Or you go for a younger coach, like I said, who has European pedigree. Like an Emery from Sporting. Tuchel, I don't see it happening. It's too much of the same. Pochettino is a non-starter in my opinion for me. So if we want to get out of the trend of going Italian or former player, you look at Emery. If you want to go Italian or former player, you got to look at Tudor or De Zerbi. But at this point, it's just anybody but Allegri. Anybody but Allegri. Allegri out is trending in Italy with 16.8 thousand tweets. Honestly, if you guys are on Twitter, do it. Tweet it out. Tweet it out if you guys got Twitter. Hashtag Allegri out. I'm wearing the shirt right now. I made it myself. Look at that. Tweet it out. Because the more traction social media gets, maybe Agnelli sees because he cares about commercialism. Maybe he sees it. Maybe it makes him do something drastic, which we need. But yeah, these past 2 weeks, being a Juventus fan, pretty shit. Also, let's backtrack to August for a second, before the season started. And I know there was a lot of doom and gloom because we had a lot of injuries, but we were thinking once all these players came back, I thought we were going to have a decent season. Not because of Allegri, because of the players we had. So it's just so catastrophic, such a decline. And even 2 weeks, and even a month and a half, it's gotten worse. It was bad, and it got worse. We did watch-alongs in the preseason for, I think, every game. We did the Chivas game, we did the Barcelona game, we did the Real Madrid game, we did the Atletico game. We did all 4 watch-alongs. And we were, as a channel, all 3 of us, were saying, what the fuck is this? Like, what were we actually watching here? We barely beat a Mexican B team. We drew Barcelona through luck. And they just had like 18 new players come in, so they weren't accustomed to each other yet. We got banged by Real Madrid. We got banged by Atletico Madrid. And we got called negative for saying that's probably the worst preseason I've ever seen in my life. And people were saying, oh, we're never good in preseason. Oh, we're never this, we're never that. We never performed the way we did in that preseason. And it's just escalated since. Again, the Sassuolo 3-0 game, that's an anomaly. That is, we could have conceded many goals that game. The Spezia game, that's Spezia, they stink. We beat them quite easily, to be honest, but it still wasn't good. Sampdoria game, awful. Roma game, good 30, 40 minutes. Salernitana, whatever happened. I'm missing a tie. Fiorentina game, horrible. And then this shit show today. Not even including Champions League, because that's just something horribly else. That's another horrible thing. When you struggle to beat a Mexican B team, in preseason, I get it, but when you struggle to beat a Mexican B team, you know there's issues. And from day one, we've had issues. Even the 20 or 30 minutes we played against that our next gen team or whatever, or Primavera team, that VR Perosa game, it was shit. And we played 17-year-olds. Let's just dive into some tactics at this point, because let's identify the actual problem. You can't just say coaching and not back it up. Let's talk about it for a sec. When we get the ball in our defensive third, we have the ball in our defensive third. So let's say from a goal kick, let's say one of our center backs have the ball. Our central midfielders, besides Paredes, are so high up the field that you can't build up the field. You can't build a passing game. So you have to kick it long. But we do not want to kick it long. We only kick it long out of necessity. From the defensive third, McKennie cannot play beside the right winger. The spacing between our 3 midfielders has to be 8 to 10 yards apart. Also, McKennie can't make a pass even if there's nobody around him for 5 meters. He can't make a pass anyway, so it doesn't matter. We're asking too much of him at that point already. But Miretti, I get it, 19 years old, he's playing too high up the field. When we get to the neutral third, that's when you can break the lines and get behind defenses. That's when you do that. When we're Bonucci or Bremer or Gatti, whoever's passing the ball along the back, or Perrine, you can't be that high up the field. Paredes was hiding today. Some games he's good. Some games Paredes is good at working off the ball to receive the ball. Today he wasn't good. But when you don't have proper spacing and angles, and you can't beat a press like Monza or whoever, Benfica or whatever team you're playing against, of course it's going to be shit. At that point, launch the ball up and do something else. But if you want to be a team that wants to pass out of the back, you have to have support everywhere. You have to have 3 options everywhere. If you're the right center back here, you have to have your right back open, your right central midfielder open, your center back open as well, and Paredes. You have to, or else you're never going to be able to pass out the back. Then you kick it long, and then McKennie stay up there at that point. If your angles and your spacing isn't good enough, you can't play. You can't play out your back, out the back. That's almost basic 101 football. I coached my 8-year-olds, or when I had an 8-year-old team, I coached them correct spacing. And they did it. It was easy. And then when we do launch it up the field, when we're panicking, Vlahovic can't win a header. And if he does win a header, nobody's around him. If you do launch the ball up the field, the wingers have to come in and support the striker. It's kind of, I don't want to see those Juventus training videos on YouTube. I don't want to see those Juventus training videos of the finishing practices. I don't care. I don't care about those. We don't get chances to score anyway, so I don't want to see them shooting in practice. I don't care. I want to see what they do in build-up play, because I bet you they don't do anything. I want to see what they do in the defensive third when they have the ball. I want to see in the neutral third, wingers, if the ball's on the left side, I want to see the winger come in or the right winger come in and help out Vlahovic. And I want the right fullback to bomb forward to create the width. I don't want to see Di Maria hugging the white line out there when the ball's on the left-hand side here. I don't want to see that. We need numbers and spacing in the middle of the field when we get the ball, because we have no support. It's just, again, Justin makes this point all the time. I will make it too. Allegri gets 9 million euros a year to toss the balls out and say, hey, go have practice. You see Allegri, even in the videos, he's sitting on the ball watching finishing practice. Obviously, that's you shouldn't just criticize Allegri for sitting on the ball at that one time particular moment, but he probably is there yelling stuff. It's not the right stuff, obviously, at practice. But I don't want to see Moise Kean finishing top corner at practice. I don't care. I don't know if Leicester's being sarcastic to me, but I don't get paid 9 million euros to coach, so I'm not going to coach the team. I don't know if he means that is it hard to coach, or like he's backing Allegri at this point, but I don't get paid to coach. I comment on what I see, and what I see is dog shit, and he should be fired. Anyway, what was I talking about? Oh, how we coach, or how the team goes. I haven't even got to the attacking third yet, because we barely get to the attacking third. When we get to the attacking third, it's ball out wide and cross it in. That's what it is. And Kostic can't pick any teammates out when he crosses the ball, and if he does, it's because he's looped one into an area where someone gets to. That's not football. It's not. And then when we're chasing a game, like we've done in many games that in the past couple weeks, De Sciglio gets the ball out wide, and Kostic comes into the middle, and we have DeShilio crossing the ball with his left foot. Maybe have a brain. Maybe get Kostic, the guy who you brought in to cross the ball, out wide and cross. I haven't even got to this is just on the field stuff. I haven't even got to stuff that his substitutions that he's made the past couple weeks. I haven't even talked about his selection of teams. I'm just talking about stuff that's on the field that there's an issue. I haven't even talked about individual players yet because they're all just shit right now. I think after the first half, our passing accuracy was 77%. The best teams in the world get 85 to 88. What did Monza have today? They're probably really good. Where can I see that? Stats. Monza had 87% passing. We had 76. 76. If you can't take care of the ball, you're going to be defending the majority of the game. If you're defending the majority of the game, you're not going to be creating chances. This is I'm almost embarrassed to. I'm embarrassed to bring on the guy who has the advanced stats and advanced metrics, because I'm gonna be talking to him, and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, we're shit, I know, and then he's just gonna be talking. He's gonna be embarrassed too to show me the stats. Does anyone see? Actually, Raven brings up a good point. Let's look at McKennie's passing stats. And I know I'm picking on one guy here, but he deserves it. Oh, I already said it. 77% passing. I use a different app though. I don't know what you're using. Like the video if you haven't already. I know most of you haven't, because there's still only 82 likes and there's more than 100 people in here, and there's been consistently more than 100 people in here. So like the video. For my sake at least, because that was horrible to wake up to this morning. So apparently Landucci talked about Vlavic's form. Landucci says, I don't think it's his fault. What's happening is a team problem, not an individual's problem. It's a collective problem, and I can't believe he's not saying it's a coaching issue. For once, I just want them to say it's our fault. The coaches, not the players. I just want the coaches to say, hey, our fault, our bad. But they can't even do that. I was out yesterday. I couldn't even comment on this yesterday. You got Allegri sending Locatelli under a bus yesterday, saying, yeah, our starting midfield is Rabiot, Pogba, and Paredes if everything goes well. What the fuck are you talking about? Rabiot was out the door two weeks ago, and Locatelli's been purchased for 35 million euros. Just under the bus. Rabiot was out the door. If his mom wasn't crazy, he'd be out the door. How could you plan the season with Rabiot when he was about to leave? So I completely forgot about what he said yesterday, because that whatever was said yesterday, it just carried over. It's just carried over. It's carried over from Khalid saying, "What injury does Locatelli have?" I'm gonna go. Let's take a look. Let's take a look on the good old transfer market. What does Manuel Locatelli have for an injury? Let's see, transfer market, player profile, couldn't open. Why? What is Manuel Locatelli's injury right now? Unknown injury. This says unknown injury. The classic. What's going on here? What does Rabiot have? Why is the team not discussing what injuries these guys have? Adrian Rabiot. Not that I care about Rabiot as much, because I think he's out the door anyway at the end of the season. Rabiot. Injuries, stats, absences, injury history. What's Rabiot got? He's got calf problems. So this says Rabiot's got calf problems. Locatelli has an unknown injury. Locatelli was thrown under the bus yesterday by Mr. Allegri during a discussion with a dude that was later portrayed as an interview that Allegri didn't know was an interview. I wish the all or nothing was this year. It was great that Pirlo had it, and we saw Ronaldo and all those guys. Chiellini was still there. I wish the all or nothing was this year. I want to see Nedved go buck wild. I want to see what the hell Allegri says in training and what he says in behind the scenes in his dressing room or his office. I want to see that. I want to see what the medical team has to say. Because everything about this is a shit show. Why do we know what Rabiot's injury is, but we have no idea what Locatelli's is? What I'm gonna go to Alexandro now. If Alexandro's injury report is on this website, then something's up. Because I don't know what's wrong with Alexandro either. Besides his ability to play football. Alexandro, okay, it says muscular problems. Alexandro's muscular problems. So it has a report, an injury report. Rabiot had an injury report. Locatelli doesn't. And people say maybe he's got a mental or he's having maybe a breakdown upstairs. Maybe he's had an issue with Allegri off the field. Maybe. No one's ruling that out. Are the journalists asking what happened to Locatelli? Is anyone asking what happened? They're so like oh my goodness. Khalid is saying break up with his girlfriend. Didn't he get married like 2 months ago? Is there off the field stuff with Locatelli right now? Did he break up with his wife? Because he just got married like a couple months ago. In any case, if he's not actually injured and he's not starting when our team is putting out Miretti, Paredes, and McKennie, it must be a big issue. If he's not injured. Where's Locatelli? I'm going to go on his Instagram to see something. Locatelli. His wedding picture still up? Or is it? Yeah, his wedding picture's still up. I don't know what to I don't know what to think anymore about this club or and its players and its coaches and its management. It sucks. It sucks, and now we got 2 weeks. We got 2 weeks to dwell on everything that's happened. Honestly, I highly suggest to the 101 of you that have stayed and listened this whole time, go and enjoy the rest of your Sunday. And if you're not involved with Juventus in any capacity, if you don't run a channel, if you don't do anything for Juventus, turn off your notifications about on Twitter, unless you want to stick up for the fans and say Allegri out, or say something about that. But if you just want to get away and not even think about things for 2 weeks, go ahead. I recommend that too. Yeah, so that's losing 1-0 to Monza and what it does to you. Again, we have 2 weeks to rectify the situation. It won't happen. We play Bologna October 2nd. And I expect you posted 2 photos on Discord. Are you in our Discord? Jerry? See if you like it. Oh. Wait, which one are you? I guess it's a good moment to plug in our members group. Become a member. There's 3 tiers. Club, Premium, Lounge. You get most of the same perks up until obviously you see at the bottom there. You get you get a Discord members chat, and you get a giveaway priority. So giveaway priority is key, because when we do our jersey giveaways, when we do our shirt giveaways or whatever, scarves or whatever we got, you get a 5 times better chance of winning these. Niraj is saying, how do I get access? You're a member, right? So if you're a Bianconerizon member, then you reach out to, I'm going to type it in, at Alejandro BZ on Twitter, if you can, or on Instagram at bianconerizon. Okay? So there you go. Reach out to those 2 accounts to get access, if you're a member. If you're not a member, then you can't have access. Sorry. Okay, so I'll wrap it up with, not wrap it up, but because we'll get into it. Is there anyone that believes Allegri will actually be fired either during this international break? Is there anyone who thinks that? I'm not saying should he get fired. I think we all agree he should get fired. Will he get fired during this international break? Because I, for one, do not think so. Niraj is saying no. Prophet is saying no. Raffle is saying, I hope he does. And he does believe. Okay. Blue Alien, no way. I tend to agree with the people saying no. I think we're at the point where it's stemming higher than just coaching now. I think we're at a point where it's a management issue. It's a Agnelli versus Nedved versus Arrivabene issue now. And I had my spiel about it. I said my piece. What do you guys think about that? Is it now a management problem? The longer Allegri stays, the worse we are going to get. That's the reality. Will we fix it? I don't think so at this point. We get 3 more likes in for 100. Get 3 more likes in for 100. Let's bang this out. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, I see Jerry Girardi's pictures now. He drew clown faces on Allegri and Arriva Bene. That's pretty funny. Good job. Good, what's it called? What's that shit called? I don't know. Photo editing. Sure. Okay, we're over 100. Good job, guys. Way to make my stream a little bit nicer, a little bit better. I'm probably gonna go watch football now and watch my our American football team disappoint me. Just your usual Sunday. Just your usual Sunday. Actually, do we? Oh yeah. Oh, the Giants are winning. So I'm a fan of the New York Giants, and they're winning. Sorry, what did Yuki just say to me? Don't say boom boom boom. I'm not saying boom boom boom. Sorry if I did. But go Giants. Oh, it's not a touchdown. There are 2 field goals. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wrap it up there. Follow Bianconerizone on Bianconerizone or at Bianconerizone on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Follow myself at Gennady151. Stay tuned for this channel in particular because again, we got some good stuff coming up on the international break. It's gonna be a lot of fun stuff. Follow Alejandro at AlejandroBZ on Twitter. Follow Justin Sofro at Justin Sofro on Twitter. I'm going to wrap it up with that question because I like Marvel. Why don't you find out for yourself? Is saying, fun question, Guardians of the Galaxy 1 or 2? I am more of a fan of the first one because I liked Ronan the Accuser as a villain. I didn't think Ego was that good. I didn't appreciate Yondu dying. Spoiler if you haven't seen yet. But yeah. So thank you all for watching. I'll see you next time. Probably see you tomorrow. Ciao for now. Peace out.